So, are you fluent in Spanish? That's what I hear.
Yes.
Say something fun for the camera. I don't know what.
What do you...
I don't know.
I don't
like,
know.
Can you say, today we're going to make guasacaca?
Hoy vamos a cocinar guasacaca.
Oh, wow. I don't even understand what you just said. So the first thing we're gonna do is make our dough. And we have the corn flour here. Why don't you take that spoon and start dumping some into that measuring cup. So you can just pile it in there, dump it all in. This dough is really simple. All it is the masa, salt, and water. But if we wanted to, we could add some of this cotija cheese, right? Or we could add some corn kernels, and that would really give it a nice texture and also a little more sweetness. Should we taste it and see what it tastes like?
Yeah.
Kind of, what do you
It would
think?
add sweetness.
Sweetness? Really salty too, right? So then we probably want to be careful about how much salt we add. And then a little bit of corn, because we want to have a nice balance between the amount of corn and the amount of flour so they stick together. How much cheese do you think?
I think the cheese gives it flavor. So
It does give it a lot of flavor, that's true. Okay, so why don't you mix all that together? What we're looking for is for all the flour to be moistened. We'll try that. It looks like it's at the point where we could just dump it all out on the board and you can really work it with your hands. You're just kind of mushing it all together and kneading it so it comes together into a nice smooth dough. So did your grandma teach you any tips about how to form the arepas?
Yes. What
Yeah.
you do is you take a ball and you go like that to make it.
Okay, why don't you show us?
Oh, okay. You don't want it to be too thick because it won't cook all the way, even though if you think it is cooked all the way.
Okay, so you need to make them as thin as you can with your hands. So this is fun because you just use your hands, you don't even need a rolling pin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Bryce, why don't you keep making these? I'm gonna heat up the griddle, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna turn it up pretty high. Do you wanna add oil to the griddle? So just kind of squeeze it all over.
Okay.
So that we have a good amount to coat each one. So one important thing is you don't wanna let it drop towards you because then the oil will splash to you. So yeah, you wanna drop it away from yourself. Devin,
I'm gonna put that right.
hear that sizzle? That's a good thing because that means that they're getting crunchy and cooking. We should probably be able to flip them in just a couple minutes, right?
That one's already cooking.
Is it brown?
It's
Or you think
starting
it's a little
to.
longer?
It's starting.
So just try to flip it away from yourself so you're not gonna splash the oil.
I think they're done.
Think they're done? What tells you that they're done?
It looks like the cheese already is getting ready, and then the corn looks cooked.
Time to make something to put on top of our arepas. What are we gonna make?
We are going to make guasacaca.
Guasacaca! All of these beautiful ingredients here can go into it, right? So if you don't like anything on here, you can always pick and choose what you do like. The best way to cut a pepper is to hold the stem and then just cut straight down on all the sides, right?
Yeah.
And then you free up the core, and then you can just get rid of that. So what you're gonna do is hold it securely, and then just cut it into strips. So now we're gonna take them sideways and cut the other way, okay? So you can cut them like this, into little cubes. Good job. So we're just gonna mix all these ingredients in this one bowl. So next, you wanna do some of the tomatoes? So for the tomatoes, they're round, so we need to be careful with the knife so we have to hold it really securely, okay? So you'll take your little knife, hold it like a tunnel, okay? And then slice through it. They're so good like that, right, when they're in season. So the best way to peel garlic is let's put your knife right on top and then just press.
And then I take this
And
one.
then you take that off. Take your knife and hold it, yep, there you go. And then that actually what you just did is after you get these cut down just a little bit smaller, you're gonna use that motion. There you go. They're on the board.
And then you just go, you go like this?
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of like a rocking motion.
Like,
There you go. Yes. Perfect. So that was one way of cutting garlic, but there's another way. If you want the pieces even smaller, we're gonna use a grater, okay? So that's creating like a really fine grated garlic, so that'll really infuse into the dip. Good. So now you can just scrape that right into there.
That looks like.
No, let's do the limes. Do you want to do some zest?
Yeah.
So the goal is to just get the green part and not the white part, because the green part has that really true lime flavor. Yeah, so let's just put a little bit in there. We don't want it to be overpowering. Okay, so we'll cut this lime in half, and then you can use this and then get the juice out of it.
That's cute.
Use as hard as you can here. Let me help you. So with the avocado, I'm gonna cut it in half, and so there's the big pit. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn it. Okay. So it goes all the way around the pit, and then you wanna break it in half, so turn it. Great. Okay, so let's cut this one more time, because that'll be easy to get the pit out then. Okay, so you can now pull the pit right out. There you go.
Wow, that feels weird.
If you take the spoon, it should be so soft that you can just scoop it right out of there. So why don't you work on cutting that up into chunks about this, like a little bit smaller than the tomatoes. Okay, so in this jar, there are 2 different herbs, parsley and cilantro. Do you know how to tell the difference? So if you have a sprig of cilantro, see how the leaves are kind of rounded? And then the parsley has kind of more pointy leaves. Pull off some sprigs of that. There you go. Really get into it. And then the big stems we don't want, but the small stems are fine. They actually have the same flavor as the leaves. Okay, so kind of wad it up and hold it between your fingers and then chop the other side, but be careful not to cut your finger. Fold it under. There you go. And then move your fingers out of the way as you get the knife closer to them, okay? Last thing are our seasonings, okay? So we have that cumin that you smelled earlier. So you want to take a little spoonful of that and sprinkle it in. Maybe another spoonful of the salt. Why don't you stir that up? And while you do that, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil just to bind the whole thing together. It looks so good. Bryce, are you ready to taste these?
I'm very excited.
Me too, let's do it. Okay, your arepa. So then just add a nice spoonful of the guasacaca to the top.
I'm gonna get a little tomato.
You gotta get a little of everything. There you go.
Nice.
How do you feel about it?
It's really good.
Really good?
The corn gives it crunchiness, and I like sometimes my food crunchy.
Would you make these again?
Mm-hmm.